Hi everyone, Bandana here, I hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Against the Storm, a game we have covered before on the channel when it was in early access. Today we're going to take a look at its final released version, which has had a couple of updates since it was released out of early access, and say a massive congratulations to Eremite Games, who have sold over 1 million copies of Against the Storm on Steam. Have you played the game before? If so, let us know what you think in the comments. Why you do like it, why you don't like it, let us know for the benefit of the other viewers that come along. For those who don't know what the game is all about, well, Against the Storm is a dark fantasy city builder with roguelike elements where you must rebuild civilization in the face of apocalyptic rains and storms, and as the Queen's Viceroy you must lead humans, beavers, lizards, foxes and harpies to reclaim the wilderness and secure a future as civilization's last survivors. It was quite a few months ago that I did a review of the early access version and I was very impressed at the time. Since then the game has come out of early access into 1.0, but the team did not stop. They've continued making updates, adding new content based on feedback from the community and rebalancing things where needed, including some massive overhauls to the UI. How dedicated is this team to listening to community feedback? They still have a request feature button in the game's menu. That's some dedication to still have that after launch. I think most companies would have long since removed that. So what about this game's gameplay? Well, you may know that I have mixed feelings about roguelike games and game modes. Some games do this really well and some do it really badly. Against the Storm is one of those ones that does it very, very well. The gameplay loop is very much based around this roguelike aspect. You spread out building small towns. Each town you build will be very different from the last. The aim is not to build the biggest city you can, it's about completing orders for the Queen and then progressing to the next town. Because at the end of the day you are effectively in a race against time to spread as far as possible and unlock seals before the end of the cycle, because once you reach the end of that cycle, everything resets. However, unlocking the magical seals will extend the length of each cycle thereafter. Now, each town that you build can be a success or a failure, but you're likely to come away with rewards of some kind that you can then spend on upgrades at the Citadel, which can be anything from new villager types, new building types, or even just resources to embark with. These unlocks remain cycle after cycle and allow you to tailor your building to your style of play and allow you to progress faster potentially each time. Indeed, you might choose a different style of play each time you play through the game. One of the things I really like about this game is that if you are finding yourself having a hard time at the difficulty you're currently playing at, every time you start a town you can change the difficulty level. It's not like you're stuck forever playing at a very high difficulty level and having to restart over. Now, every town you build is going to be different, and there are a few different reasons for that. One is that the biomes are going to change and they will have different resource allocations. You will also find that every time you start a town there will be different benefits and negatives associated with it. Some have more negatives than others. For example, if you build next to a bandit camp, then, people aren't going to want to come and trade with you because it's risky. Also, every town you build, you will get completely randomized building unlocks outside of the few buildings that you start with initially, and obviously what you can unlock through the upgrades tree. Not to mention there are obviously different races of villagers, which means that they have different wants and needs, giving you yet something else to manage. And then on top of that are the random world events such as plagues and other events that you will unlock as you cut down trees and explore the glades in the forests around your village, and you'll have a multitude of very different experiences within one playthrough. Credit where credit is due, the way this is all put together is very impressive and it flows really, really well. And as I said in my look in early access, it is so much deeper than it first appears. I will quickly mention that the game has absolutely fantastic music. The sound effects are absolutely fine. It's kind of what you would expect from this kind of game. I like the stylized graphics as well. It reminds me of some older games like Warcraft 3 and things like that. It is very fitting. However, the game also boasts some really nice particle effects and animations and things for certain events, so it's not like they've limited themselves by having this art style. Against the Storm is probably one of the best titles I've played over the last year, created by a team who have a real passion for the project, and it shows. With over 1 million sales on Steam, it's been a huge success. It's a game in which you constantly must adapt to the changing environments and adjust your playstyle on a regular basis to best meet the challenges the game throws at you. And I should stress, it's kind of a fun challenge, not a horribly difficult challenge, if you get what I mean. If you are a fan of city builders, or perhaps you're someone who likes a challenge, then I highly recommend you give it a look. It still has a demo available too, which is quite substantial, allowing you to get a real feel for the game. Though admittedly, the game also massively opens up once you start getting all of those Citadel unlocks. For me, this game easily hits a 4.5 out of 5 in score, with a strong leaning towards a full 5 out of 5. It's a game that does what it sets out to do and does it well. The game costs just £24.99 at its standard price, and you'll get more than your money's worth out of it, in my opinion. And it's gone on sale with 35% off before, so if you're hurting for cash, you can just wait for the next Steam sale. Again, a well-deserved congratulations to Aramite Games. They have made an amazing game here. It's been extremely successful and they deserve that success, especially considering their ongoing support for the title after release. Thanks for watching everyone. As ever, please do like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you all soon.